Hello, my name is Ejiro Efere, and I'll be taking you on home management. The theme for this lesson is Principles of Home Management. Under this theme, we'll be looking at the topic, Meaning and Importance of Home Management, and the steps in home management. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning of home management, state the importance of home management, and describe the steps in home management. Let's take a look at what home management is. The word or subject home management is gotten from the combination of two words, which are home and management. The word home has several meanings. It could mean a place where people live, that is a house, or a group of people living together in a house, that is a family. So, a home is either a place where people live, a house, or a family living together in one building. Management is the act of controlling the affairs of a person, a group of people, an organization, or any other form of structure. So we could say there are different types of managers, and we also have people that manage our home. In home management, we say it involves the use of resources to meet the needs and goals of a home. Home management simply deals with managing or controlling the affairs of a home. As you can see, this is a home. It looks like a home that is well organized and properly managed. Home management. A good definition for home management is the act of directing the affairs of a home, as we saw earlier from the combination of the word home and management. Home management involves the effective use, as we also mentioned earlier, of the family's resources to meet the needs or goals of the family. There are different types of resources that are available in the family. For example, there are human resources, that is the persons that make up the home, probably the mother, father, children, or other members of a home. Another type of resources available in a home could be financial resources. That's the fund available in the home to take care of home issues and carry out every other activity in the home. Other types of resources in a home could be material resources, that's items in the home or in the house, emotional resources, or even intellectual resources, that's the mind and wisdom of people that make up the home. So the use of any of these resources to meet the needs or goals of a home or family is what we describe as home management. In home management, we work with plans and activities. Therefore, home management, we say, deals with achieving the family's goals. Those are the desired goals of the family through planned activities. There are different goals that are associated with different families. Some examples of goals in a family could be having a large home, building a house, living healthy, staying happy, training children that would grow up to be responsible citizens of a nation, and having a good home that is an example in the society. So different families have different goals, and the use of every resources in the family to achieve these goals is what we talk about in home management. You could see this is an example of a house, a home. This is an interior of a home. How is home management important to man? Home management has several importance in the life of people in a home. For example, we say home management preserves properties and useful items in a home. That's a good importance of home management. When items and properties are well managed, or rather, when a home is properly managed, that is, the homemaker, who is either a parent, let's say the head of the family, mother, father, or anyone who runs a home, manages the home in a good way, items and materials or properties in that home will be well managed and will last for a longer time. For example, a home that is well managed, the children of that home know the importance of taking care of items such as glasswares, as you can see, a glass table. They know how to take care of them, clean them, and keep them safe. They also know how to take care of the rooms, like the sitting rooms. They take care of the upholsteries. They keep it clean. By doing this, these properties are well preserved and they last longer. Another importance of home management is that it minimizes wastage of useful substances in a home. Members of a well-organized home understand the need to take care of items. They understand the need to be careful when using items. By doing this, items and useful substances in the home are well managed to avoid wastage. For example, someone that comes from a well-managed home understands that bills are paid for certain facilities and items such as water supply, electricity, and several other facilities in a home. Someone that has this understanding will learn how to manage these items and use them in a good way in order to avoid wastage and avoid incurring unnecessary costs. So, a good home management plan helps to minimize wastage in the home. Home management also helps to prevent unnecessary stress that comes with disorganization. A disorganized home is a home that is not properly managed. And people that come from such homes are usually not so organized in their lifestyle. A disorganized home is a home where things are not well done, proper hygiene is not practiced, and several other things are not well kept. When a home is disorganized, it could lead to chaos and confusion. And when this happens, members of such home tend to live a careless life. For example, someone that comes from a disorganized home may not understand the need of eating properly prepared or cooked food. Such a person may eat from anywhere, and by doing this, he doesn't ensure how that food was prepared. He eats the food, and it could result in several things. For instance, if he eats a meal that is not well prepared, or probably a meal that has been poisoned, that person could contract diseases and fall sick. So, disorganization in a home will also lead to illnesses and several other things. For example, you could see someone who is not feeling well. It could be as a result of a disorganized home. And when someone falls sick, a member of a disorganized home falls sick, it will lead to excessive stress or unnecessary stress for other members of the home who will come or who will be available to take care of such person. So when a home is properly organized, such unnecessary stress that comes with disorganizations are prevented. Home management also promotes happiness in a home. You may want to ask me, how does this happen? It does this by ensuring every member of the home of their place. For a home that is properly organized, the children understand the need of organization. They understand that the parents love them, and the parents also understand that the children love them. But for proper upkeep of the home and organization, things are well placed. And when everyone have this understanding, the children understand the need for managing the home, and the parents have a good understanding of why the home should be kept in a good order, they stay happy and they live happy. And also, because a home is properly managed, they enjoy good health because there is good hygiene. The food in a home are well prepared and cooked, so they eat healthy food. They also stay healthy, therefore, they also stay happy. You could see an example of a home that is happy. You see them smiling. If you look critically, you see that this home actually looks like a home that is well managed. Home management promotes cooperation amongst family members. In a well-managed home, each member of the family is involved in working together for the progress of that home or for the success of such home. The children have a role to play as well as the parents and every member of that home. And when this is done, they learn how to work with each other. For example, they do their homeworks together at home. When they go out, they work together and they look out for each other. Parents also work together with their children, and all of these activities promote cooperation amongst members of a well-organized home. Home management also helps members of the family to become more responsible. Children that come from a well-organized home take up responsibilities and tasks at a very early stage. They are taught how to do things in the home, how to take care of the home, for example, sweep the houses, sweep the rooms, take care of the environment, wash dishes, wash their clothes, take their baths, and perform several other activities in the home. By doing this, these children grow up to become responsible citizens of a society. So good home management also helps family members to be more responsible. Let's take a look at some of the steps in home management. Remember, we said home management deals with the organization of planned activities to achieve the goals or needs of a home. So there are steps, or there are basic steps that need to be followed in home management. And they include planning, organizing, implementing, and evaluation. So you could see them: planning, you organize the home, implement, and evaluate. All of these are basic steps in home management. Let's look at the first one, planning. Planning is the process of thinking through the values of a home. In planning, you have to go through the thinking process. You think through the values of the home, the needs of that home. You also consider the resources available in the home and how to use the resources to achieve the goals of the family. Planning is more or less a mental process, although it involves physical activities too. Now, in planning, the homemaker must consider the values of the home. By values, we mean things that are important for such a home. And when he or she considers the values of the home, he will be able to design needs, or rather identify needs that are important in such a home. And when the needs have been identified, the homemaker goes ahead to make resources available, or rather consider the resources that are available to meet such needs. And when these resources have been considered and made available, the homemaker begins to make out plans to achieve these goals. There are different types of needs that may arise in a home. Some may be important, simple, serious, short-term needs, or long-term needs. For example, preparing a meal, let's say dinner, is a need. It could be a short-term meal because it's dinner for one day. Examples of long-term goals could be building a house, buying a car, a landed property. These are long-term needs because it will take several years, a couple of months, or a long time to achieve. There are simple needs that people in a home make or encounter every day. For example, washing of dishes, that's a need in a home. Washing of clothes, going to shop for groceries, etc. All of these are needs in a home that need to be properly planned for. A good way to plan or make plans in home management is as follows. One, you must identify the needs of the family that should be met. It's not every need that arises in a family that should be met. Some should be ignored. After identifying the needs, the homemaker should arrange the needs in an order of importance. That is, you arrange the needs according to how important they are. For example, if a homemaker wants to build a house, enroll a child in a school, buy a car, and prepare dinner, he or she will take time to plan for these needs and arrange them in a good order. For such a list, we could say making dinner is an immediate and important need, so that should top the list. Probably enrolling the child in a school should come after, and probably buying a car should follow, and building a house, which is a long-term goal, should come after the others. The homemaker also identifies the resources available for these needs, as we said earlier. He or she should decide on when and how these resources will be used to meet the needs of a home. The second step in home management is organizing. Organizing involves the interpretation of plans into activities. That is, the plan that has been written down is broken down into various activities that are shared amongst members of the family. For a home that comprises of just one person, he or she takes up the responsibility of organizing the plan. But for a home that consists of mother, father, and children, the homemaker, who may be the father, the mother, or the two of them, shares these activities to members of the family. Organizing involves assigning tasks to each member of the family. For example, for a good plan to be well organized, the homemaker must arrange the plans into various activities in an orderly manner. For a plan to prepare a meal, let's say dinner, the homemaker must interpret the plan into activities such as going to shop for food items, preparing the items for the food, washing of dishes, etc. The homemaker takes up the responsibility of sharing these activities to other members of the home. As you can see, you could see a mother and a father who are the homemakers. You could also see the children taking part in organizing the plan. So, in organizing, these activities are shared amongst family members, and each member of the family carries out his or her responsibilities in a proper way. In organizing too, financial resources are made available to meet the need. The need could be the need of the moment, just as we have a plan to prepare dinner. That is a need. So, an activity is interpreted from that plan, which is preparing or making resources available. And the member of the family who takes up such responsibility is the head of the home, which is usually the father. The father makes these resources available, hands it over to the mother for organizing and implementing. There is also a stated time for each activity in the plan. For example, the plan to prepare dinner should not take forever. It shouldn't take a day or a year. So it's a stipulated time. It could be 1 hour, 2 hours, and so on. So each member of the home who is taking up a responsibility understands when that activity should be concluded. The third step in home management is implementing. After the plans have been organized or interpreted into activities, and the activities have been well carried out, the homemaker takes a step further to implement the plans. By implementing, we mean execution. That is the action stage, where every item that has been prepared is put together to achieve the goal or the need. For a plan to prepare dinner or a meal, after members of the family must have finished preparing the various items and ingredients required for such meal, the homemaker puts them together for cooking. As you can see, this is a bowl of cooked food. So the implementing stage or step is the action stage. It's the action stage because every organized plan is brought together and put into action. In the implementing stage, it is the responsibility of the homemaker to ensure that activities are properly carried out and in the right manner or direction. So the homemaker takes up the responsibility to check what each member of the home is doing and if they are carrying out their activities in a proper way. The last step of home management is evaluation. Every process needs to be evaluated, and the steps in home management are also evaluated. Remember, at the beginning, the homemaker puts up plans, organizes the plans, and implements all to meet the needs of the home or the family. So in this last step, the homemaker takes out time to evaluate and check how well the need has been met. So it involves reviewing the entire process of home management. In evaluating, the homemaker reviews the planning process, he or she reviews the organizing process, and he also reviews the implementing process. In evaluating, he checks if the resources have been well utilized, if the right choices were made, and if the activities that were put together in the organizing step well carried out. So, it is a point where the entire management process is checked and also ensure that the resources are well used. Evaluating is the last stage of home management, and after this has been done, the homemaker takes up courage to either start a new process of home management in the same line or make some adjustments in order to improve on his or her planning. The steps in home management are related. They are interrelated, that is, they work closely together. For a home to be well managed and organized, the homemaker must first of all plan. After planning, he or she will proceed to organizing. Therefore, without proper planning, there will be nothing to organize. Remember, we said organizing is interpretation of plans into activities. After organizing, the homemaker proceeds to implement. Remember, implementation is the action stage. It is a point where the different plans or the different activities are put together. Having done the implementing, he or she moves further to evaluate. Evaluation is the review stage. And if a good evaluation is done, the homemaker discovers that the entire process was a success and a good one. He or she can either repeat the step or make certain adjustments in the next plan. So we can say the steps in home management are interrelated. Let's take a quick review of all we've been learning today. First, we said home management is the act of controlling or directing the affairs of a home. We also said it is the use of a family's resources to meet its needs or goals. Home management deals with achieving the desired goals of a home through planned activities. In home management, there must be proper planning. Home management has several importance, and they include preservation of properties, reduction of stress, and reduction of wastage in the home. It also promotes unity and cooperation among family members. There are 4 basic steps in home management, and they are planning, organizing, implementing, and evaluating. We have come to the end of this lesson. But before we wrap up, let's take this question. Dash involves assigning tasks to members of the family. A. Organizing. B. Planning. C. Evaluating. And D. Implementing. If your answer is B. Planning, or C. Evaluating, or D. Implementing, you are wrong. The correct answer is A. Organizing. We have come to the end of this class. Hope you learned a lot. See you in our next class. Bye.